Hey guys, it's Destiny, and yesterday I was able to do a very fun collab with Sylla, and they are actually the voice actor of Tribbie, and we were just able to have fun yapping, so I just wanted to show you guys just how it went yesterday. Some parts will be cut out since I did have a couple of audio issues, but the full stream is also on my Twitch if you guys want to check that out. And if you enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe and leave a like to support the video. And now let's get straight into it. What would you say is like one of your all-time favorite series?
Oh man, my all-time favorite video game is Nier Replicant. That is my favorite video game of all time. But my favorite indie game, and listen, I know it's trash. It's not even trash. Listen, I know that the gameplay is not optimal, but the story's interesting and I love the aesthetic. My favorite indie game is Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Okay.
It is my favorite. And I think Bendy and the Dark Revival, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted from the first game. So I love the Bendy series with my whole heart. Like, I read all the books and everything. Like, I'm just in too deep. But I think that if I have to pick, like my top two, that's probably it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Honestly, I would say, like, and I always replay this game every couple of years, but I think I honestly have to say, like, Pokemon Platinum. Because I grew up with Pokemon, and I started with Gen 4. And ever since then, like, I remember growing up every year, Pokemon games would typically release, like, I noticed, like, near fall time, which my birthday's in November. So I'd go up to my mom and I'm like, Mom, the Pokemon game is coming out. And she's like, Pikachu? And I'm like, yes. Every year, I would always make sure I get the new Pokemon game on my birthday. I have to play all of them. And I still buy like as many of them as I can. And my parents like don't even know that many video games, but they know Pokemon just because of like how much I'm like, I want to play the new Pokemon game. I still sometimes ask them all these years later, hey, can you buy me the Pokemon game for my birthday? And they're like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. The only Pokemon game I've ever completed, because I was like, I have to, was Pokemon Shield. Because I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna play Marnie, I have to play the game she debuted in. And that is the only Pokemon game I've ever finished. I got to near the end of Pokemon Black when that came out. Yeah. But same thing happened as it always does. I moved and then I fell off and I never finished it. I still have because I was playing it on my DS Lite, baby.
Oh my gosh.
My rose gold DS Lite. Also, hi Chloe. But yeah, I still have it somewhere in a box in our house, but yeah, I never finished it. It's one of those games where after finishing Pokemon Shield, I want to play more of the games, but after hearing how like scuffed Scarlet Violet was, I'm like, I don't know if I can go back in, y'all. I'm gonna wait for the next one to come out. And hopefully
would you try do you think you're gonna try Legends ZA then?
Is that what was announced today?
Yes.
Okay, I have not looked into it, but I really want to.
Yeah, that game looks fun. Like I see someone in the chat ask like the thoughts on the starters. I'm gonna pick Chikorita. Chikorita's too cute. Everyone hates on Chikorita. I'm like, no.
No, they're so cute. I love Chikorita. My favorite starter is, gotta go with my OG. It's Squirtle.
Squirtle's so cute.
Squirtle's my OG. I'm like, I think that's my favorite. So many people hate on like Sobble's, like they don't hate on Sobble because Sobble's adorable, my tiny depressed frog thing. But they hate on like its evolution line. And I'm like, maybe I like it more because people are like, no, it's trash. And therefore I'm like, no, that's my trash. But I'm like, Inteleon's great. I love that whole evolution line. Y'all just haters.
I picked Sobble too.
He's so
Sobble's so cute. I'm gonna make a confession. I was the one that in the first gen, I was a Bulbasaur person. I still am. I love Bulbasaur, and people make fun of Venusaur. Like, Venusaur is ugly, and I'm like, no.
Like, you just want everything to be cute. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Venusaur's great. I don't know what y'all are talking about. It is great.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Score Bunny's great. I love Score Bunny. But I was like, nah, I relate to this little tadpole who cries all the time, because same, buddy. I too am a crying tadpole.
I love the starters. There's always like, I don't know, they're just all like cute at the end of the day. I honestly have like a least favorite starter. Like I think all of them have like a little charm to them where it's like, yeah, I want to adopt you. You're mine now.
I'm trying to think of a starter that I like really didn't like. It was Snivy. I think that if I had to pick a least favorite one, yeah, I know, I'd probably said something blasphemous.
I loved Snivy. That was my favorite. I was like, oh my god, Snivy's like so like Snivy just gives like sassy to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, the thing is, I liked Snivy, but it was the evolution line that I was like, it was like its second form that I'm like,
Servine, I think?
Yeah, Servine. Its final was neat. I was like, I need to pull this up because I don't know all the names. I liked the final Evo, but it was the mid one that I'm like, yeah, Superior's cool.
Yeah.
Servine, you really are the ugly teenage, huh?
No! I don't know, I just love Snivy. Like,
live your truth.
I think, honestly, one of my least favorites, which, oh my gosh, I don't like Tepig. I'm just like, I don't know.
Tepig's fine, but like, it's nothing to like really write home about.
Yeah, like for me, it was always between Oshawott and Snivy, but Oshawott is like so cute. It's a little otter. And in the anime, oh my gosh. In the anime, it was
perfect. So cute. I remember I was at UwuCon with Lisa Ortiz, and we were talking about like, shout out to Lisa. I love her so much. Sweetheart. Thanks for making me Marnie, Lisa. I appreciate you. Thanks for letting me be Pokemon. It's neat. I'm still not over it. It still makes me just kind of go, oh, that's a thing that what? I did not tell you this because it was happening to me yesterday. I had to hard reinstall Discord last night.
Oh my god.
I was recording my podcast for our D&D show, Nat 19, because I run a monthly podcast called Wits and Crits, and we were mid-recording. Our internet had an outage, and then because of that, it borked up my Discord for some reason on my PC, and it just would not open. So I had to go deep into the files of my computer, hard remove it from my computer, and then reinstall it last night. And I'm like, please work for tomorrow. I'm supposed to hang out with Destiny. I don't want to cancel on them again.
You know,
it's not that I'm canceled, but like we had to reschedule all the time. I'm so sorry that my schedule's insane. I'm glad it didn't happen today. I'm like, all right, thankfully with the podcast, it's pre-recorded. We'll just pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
And I'll just stitch it together. I left a note, like when I was like recording, I was like, all right, future Hayden, stitch it here. But I'm like, God damn it. I redeemed myself with tech support today.
Yeah, oh my gosh, before we started streaming, I was asking Sylla so many questions. I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I pop out Discord?
I got you. I've taken up the mantle of tech support. I'm so proud.
I finally have tech support. Let's go.
I got you. Don't expect too much because I'm like, oh man, like I said, computers are weird magic.
I was also gonna ask you, since I asked favorite games, do you have any favorite shows like growing up?
Growing up, one of my favorite shows was always Teen Titans, like the OG 2003.
So goated. Oh my gosh. So good.
It's so peak. I love that show so much. My favorite anime of all time, because before I got into it, like as my career, I was a little baby weeb. Like my favorite anime of all time, well, there's two of them. It's D. Gray Man, which is really good. It shows that I love a good tragedy. It's like gothic, gothic style. It's fantasy, a bit of science. It's really deep character writing, which is what I'm super into.
Yeah.
And Also on the, it's great character writing, but it's comedy, is a show called Sergeant Frog.
Is it when a frog is the sergeant?
Technically, yes. So it is about a group of alien frogs who have come to Earth to invade.
Yeah.
But they suck. They suck at their jobs, and they get wrapped up with the humans that they end up living with, and it's like just these really cute friendships. It's wacky, and that show is the reason I was like, I want to dub anime.
You know what? Valid.
The dub is so funny, and I'm like, I wish we could adapt scripts like this nowadays, because there's a lot of stuff where to make it funny in English, you kind of have to go off of the translation. Yeah. We can only do that to a certain extent now, because like it depends on the series, it depends on the licensor, things like that. But with Sergeant Frog in that time, they had a lot more leeway. Yeah. So there are some jokes in there that I'm like, this would never, ever be allowed nowadays. But God, it's so good.
Yeah.
I did get the word boobalicious into a show recently, and I was very proud of that.
Oh my gosh. Can you say which one?
If you've seen Medaka Kuroiwa, episode 1, I wrote that episode, so you're welcome.
I love that.
It's so funny. But what about you? What are some of your like favorite shows, like anime or cartoons or otherwise?
Yeah, I'm gonna sound so basic, but one of my favorites is definitely Dragon Ball, because I grew up with it.
Oh, we love Dragon Ball in this house.
I was definitely a Dragon Ball kid, because back then when we used to watch like cable TV way more, I would actually watch it with my mom, because like it would play right after I was done with school, or maybe like an hour after. I'd get home and I knew Dragon Ball was gonna play, so that's how I watched Dragon Ball Z. We would just like, she would just let me take over the TV because she was just on her phone. So she was like, oh, just play whatever you want. So I'd switch the channel and then we would just watch it. And I was so locked in. I was like the type of kid to just stare at the TV, like wide eyes. Like, I need to see what happens. Yeah. So I think because of the fact that I have like, I guess that memory attached to it, that's also another reason I like it so much. It's really hard to say. Like, I'm trying to think of like a favorite. Like, it's easier for me to answer that question if it was like, I guess a cartoon. Because like, I love Cartoon Network. So, you know what?
I said a cartoon.
Okay, you know what? Fair. I loved like regular show, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Amazing World of Gumball. Oh my gosh, it was
Gumball's so good. I'm finally watching regular show. Sayu and I have made it like a nightly ritual where we just like watch like almost half a season worth. Like, we'll just chill on the couch and just watch regular show and just like vibe at the end of the night. So I'm finally watching it because I didn't watch it growing up because it wasn't out on cable when I was like a kid watching cartoons. But like watching it now, there's so many times where I'm like, how did this get, how is this allowed? Damn, all right, go on.
It definitely shows like how much the times have changed when it comes to like shows. Because the types of jokes back then, I was like, wait, they can't say that now, or even apply it.
Like, Muscle Man would not be allowed.
Oh
nowadays.
My gosh. Yeah, no, I absolutely just love regular show. It was so good. I hope you're enjoying it. Like,
I love it.
It's so funny. Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, I love me some Skips. I love Skips.
Valid.
I'm like, I love Skips, but honestly, Benson. I love Benson. I do. Wow. I'm like, maybe it's because I'm grumpy a lot of the. Maybe it's because I can be kind of grumpy, and I get it, and I'm like, I understand having been a manager with people who just aren't great at their jobs, and maybe I'm just relating. But I think Benson's great, and especially when he has like his softer moments, or like when they show like more of him outside of just being the grumpy manager. Yeah, I don't know. Those things have like really endeared me to him. But I think Skips is probably like my top favorite.
My favorites, okay, just it's like so complete opposite. I think my favorites are actually Rigby and Mordecai, because like I don't know. Like, they're kind of stupid, but like, at the end of the day, I guess they end up figuring out the issue. I don't like, I'm not going to say why. I don't like Mordecai later on, though, because he makes some pretty questionable decisions. And I'm just like, oh, Rigby's not my favorite.
I liked Mordecai at first. Yeah, I liked Mordecai at first, but like, as the season, we're like almost done season 3, and this is really where he starts getting kind of insufferable. Like, I love Rigby, though. I also just love the way Rigby's animated. There's a specific face. It's like when he like is looking up, just the way they animate his eyes, like on like his nose almost, just the way he's animated, just it tickles a part of my brain that I'm like, yes, this is great.
I guess now I'm curious. I don't remember if it's near season 3. Have you gone to the parts about like Mordecai's relationships? Like, are you there at that point or no?
The episode we just recently watched is when they do all the time travel stuff because he finally kissed Margaret. It was the bad breath episode. I remember that one distinctly. So he's like, they're starting to get into that now.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's later on. I'm gonna, whenever you get late, like, oh my god, I can't speak. Whenever
Welcome to the voice actor curse. None of us can speak. That's the secret.
Whenever you get deeper into the show, let me know, because I'm going to ask you, okay, how do you feel about him now? Because there's a very specific part that I'm just like, oh my gosh, my goat, you've fallen from goat status, and now Rigby has taken that place. Because Rigby has really good character development, I would say, later on. Like, you literally see him change, and I'm gonna catch up with you on that one, like, later on.
That's what Sayu told me, is that Rigby's character development is like really solid, but Mordecai just kind of, he goes the opposite way, where Rigby grows, Mordecai just kind of gains a lot of bad habits. Worse. He just gets worse.
I think what will always stick with me is when I was watching Dragon Ball, like, as a kid, I remember, I think it was Android 16, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my gosh, when he died, I was crying. I was like, there's no way they just did that. And then Gohan,
death hits.
Yeah, it was honestly, I hate to say it, but like, I guess it's kind of true. It was like a good death in the aspect of like the emotions you feel from it. Because like Gohan was like, oh heck no, and he went off, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is peak. I need this emotion in my shows again because this is so good.
That's been like one of my favorite things. That was one of my favorite things, like watching anime growing up, and why I'm so glad I discovered it like as early as I did. I say discovered. My middle school best friend DJ, they showed me. They got me into anime. They're like, we need to start watching stuff together, and I think it really gave me an appreciation for like well-written, like emotional storytelling. Whereas like a lot of like you get that to a point, like that's why like Teen Titans lives in my brain like forever, and why I'm so grumpy about Teen Titans Go. But yeah, like watching anime so young, because I started watching probably around like 11. Like obviously I was watching like Pokemon and things like that growing up, but it gave me such an appreciation for like wider storytelling and just for the medium in general. Have you ever been to Japan or anything?
I want to so bad. I'm just like, one day I'm gonna have like the funds to do it. I'm gonna invite my friends and be like, okay, Japan trip, all of us now.
I know, I want to go so badly. Sayu and I are thinking of going this year if we can make it. We're like, oh, let's go in April, and we're like, it is rapidly approaching, and I don't know if we have time to plan that. We'll go later.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character from Teen Titans?
I'm a Raven lover. I am a Raven lover through and through.
Honestly, when I was younger, she was my favorite, but I think my favorite now is Starfire. Like, I don't know, she's just so like, she's so goofy in the show at times, and I'm just like, you know what? Me too. Me too. I love Beast Boy and Raven's dynamic though. So cute.
No, they're so cute and so fun, and I'm like, I'm such a shipper. I'm shipping trash. I'm 8, and I've decided this is cute. But I loved Starfire at first, and then I think it was like, as they started introducing more of like Raven's backstory, and just they did some really great storytelling with her arc, like specifically in season 4.
Yeah.
Because that's her season. Because each season was... I've rewatched this show a lot. I still have all the DVDs, dog. I kind of want to do a rewatch, just like chilling on my couch. I'm like, you know what? I'll grind in like Star Rail or whatever. Or, like I'll work on like, Dice and just binge through Teen Titans again. But season 4 was so solid.
Yeah.
And like the final episode, like little Hayden cried. Like the last episode when she's like standing up to her dad and everything, it just like hit me. I'm like, oh, this is really good. And like the performances in the show are all really solid. Like I think my 2 favorite characters, like I love Beast Boy, but I'm like, I think for just their arcs and like their performances, I'm like, it's Raven and Cyborg, I think are my favorites.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think I have like a place like where I like all of them, honestly, because they all have like, I feel like something that's pretty unique about them, or even just like I guess memorable about them. Mm-hmm. Just a good show. I need to rewatch it though. I'm I'm only have like bits and pieces in my brain, and I'm like, I need to watch the show again.
It's really good. And it still holds up is the best part.
That's what I love about older shows, is that like we're in now 2025 and I can just go watch a show again from 2010 and just love it. And like, I just love shows that have like that effect that it feels like it's like timeless, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of shows that still like hold water, and it makes me so happy. I'm like, oh, thank God. Show I need to finish is Owl House. I still need to watch season 2 and 3, but I loved season 1. It was so good. It's like one of the best written shows I've seen in a long time.
I just realized we barely talked about Star Rail. I was gonna ask you
That's fine.
I was gonna ask you what's like I'd say your top 3 favorite characters. I feel like I know 2 of them though.
Okay, so one of them's Jing Yuan.
I knew
Leave
it.
me alone. Yeah. My favorites are a little biased to an extent, but I love Aglaea because I think the way, and yeah, people are like, oh, you have a bias towards Aggie because of Amphorius, and a little bit. I have such a love for all the Amphorius characters because I've gotten to know them in a very different way. So because before even playing Star Rail, I was recording it, and so I was creating these relationships with like Phynon and Mydei and Aglaea, and like Hyacinth and things. So like I've gotten to know them. It feels like on a personal level because of the acting portion of it. I love Jing Yuan. And I know that's super biased, but I'm going to hold to that. Because the thing is, I like the way he's written as well. Because he does have a lot going on. And I think he's a very interesting character. The thing is, so many of them are so well written. And I'm like, crap. This makes it so hard. That's one of the reasons I love HSR, is like the characters are so good. And even characters, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like you. I wound up liking them. Like, I did not think, when I first met Yun Li, did not like her character at all. I was like, ah.
You know what? Same. And I was telling my friends.
This child.
I was telling my friends that, and they're like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "No, she's being a poo-poo head. I don't like it." But then you know what? I was like, "Oh wait," I played the whole thing, and I'm like, "Fine, I like you. You're fine."
Yeah, I'm like, "Damn it! Now she's my daughter. Crap."
Yeah.
Jing Yuan, Aglaea, because I love a lady with layers.
Yeah.
Like she's such a layered character, and there's so much going on with her that she's just fascinating to me, and she's so interesting to watch. I can't say Tribbios. That feels illegal. That, because the thing is, I love how Tribbie is written. Playing through that just as an actor is... Tribbie is like, I will talk about this like even as we're doing the polls, but I'm like, this is my favorite acting experience of all time.
Yeah.
Because not only it's like, okay, she's Tribbios, so she was one person. And each part of her, like Tribbie, Trian, Trinen, those are all aspects of the same girl.
Yeah.
But they are also individuals. So it's a very interesting experience. And I won't give like story spoilers, but the stuff I got to do for 3.1 is my favorite stuff I've gotten to do with her. Is probably like my favorite acting experiences I've ever had.
I feel like it'd be so much fun to like swap between their personalities. Like,
oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Because we record them all, like, just to make sure, like, I can keep all their voices distinct. And the closest ones are, like, Tribbie and Trian. They get the closest, just especially when Tribbie's getting, like, a little gremlin-y. But, I always record in, like, a specific order. I always go Tribbie, Trinen, and end with Trian, because Trian, like, is, like, scratchy and, like, scrappy a lot of the time, so I want to, like, make sure that my voice doesn't get worn out, especially when she's being really boisterous.
Right.
Like, when we did Tribbios, I'm like, I think, we still ended with Trian. God, I loved doing her golden epic. Oh, it was so good. But anyway, third favorite. So it's not for like any lore reasons. I just think she's really fun. I love Hook. Even though she stole so many of my Tribbie pulls, I love Hook so much. I think she's just so much fun. And anytime I come across her in this story, she just makes me smile. And it might be part of the like fact that like my friend Felicia plays her, and I love Fee so much, and I know how much Felicia loves playing her, so I think that adds to it. But Hook is just, she's fun and she's interesting, and like she's just a sweet kid doing her best, and I love a little gremlin baby. It's hard because I love all the characters for so many different reasons. And even, like I said, even characters who I didn't think I would like, I just fell in love with. I also just really love Belobog. Love Belobog.
Belobog was so good.
Like, my favorite worlds is, like, Amphorius. I'm biased, but bite me. It's, like, Amphorius, Belobog, probably the Cienjo, and then Penacony. Penacony I love the story, but I don't know, I just love traversing the Cienjo a lot. I loved the story. I think it was a nice break because Belobog was so long and the Cienjo was a little bit more concise. And then Penacony was the yap fest, and I loved the story. And I didn't think I would because I was so skeptical. I love Sunday. So I know it's not top 3, but I love Sunday.
I really like him too.
Such a well-written character.
2.7, that was so good. Like, I really liked that story segment in 2.7 just because of like just getting to learn more about him. And then, oh my gosh, what was the little guy's name that was with him? Forgot. It was a funny name.
It was 1 week.
1 week. Yeah, no, when I saw it, I was like, oh, Sunday and then 1 week? Okay.
I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing. You're dumb as hell.
It was so funny, though, when I caught on. I was like, wait a minute.
Hold the fork on, bro. 2.6 wasn't, like, my favorite patch, just because, like, I think that it could have been a little tighter, like, more tightly written, but... Yeah. I said fork, and then I was like, Boot Hill.
Boot Hill.
I love him. I love Boot Hill so much. 2.6 was peak Boot Hill. It made me so happy.
Yeah, it was good.
So fun.
I really liked, though, near the end of 2.6, which I think it's crazy. A lot of my friends have not played 2.6. They just skipped to 2.7 and beyond, and I'm like, no. But I like the middle to end section of 2.6. Like, I know it's kind of a slow ride to get there, and it's really banana. But I really liked Rappa's backstory. I was like, wow, that I did not expect that. That was kind of locked in.
Once you like start understanding what her deal is, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what we're doing here. Once you start dealing with like the scientists and ish, and I'm like, because they kind of tip you off with the way like her master is like performing his lines, you're like, this is weird. Why are you saying it like that, dude? You pick up on like what's going on. It's like, oh, this is sad AF, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good, and Kendall did such a good job. What about you? Who are your top 3 babies?
Okay, so I have super bias for the Herda because when I saw her design, I was like, wait a minute. I have a hat. She has a hat. We're both like purple-esque. This is mine. I was really sad though, and I think it was 3.0. Yeah, I feel like her part was kind of short. I was like, dang, I want more.
I haven't finished 3.0. Like I know she's there and I know she shows up, but I was like, yeah, I didn't expect it to be like a whole lot, because I guess like 3.0 is like really having you get to know like Amphorius, because it's a whole new like world, it's a whole new pantheon too. But yeah, like I hope we get more in future patches.
I think her trailers, like was the icing on the cake for me, or like I guess the cherry on top, because there was this one trailer where he was just trying to figure out how to cook, and I'm like,
that one's so cute.
There's no way she doesn't know how to cook to this degree, and everything was just blowing up, and I'm like, this might be one of my favorite trailers. I'm not gonna lie. It was just so funny to me. It's
also so well animated.
Yeah, I agree. Never let her to cook again. Yeah, that trailer was like, yeah, no, I think she's my favorite. She's too funny. Like, she's this genius, but she can't figure out how to bake. And I just think that's just so funny to me.
I'm like, while Ranmei is so far from my favorite character, I say I'm like, I like them all for different reasons. I can't stand Ranmei. I cannot. Her character just frustrates me. But there's so many reasons I don't like her characterization. She just does nothing for me. Not my favorite, but I love that it showcases like Herda's like philosophy, where she's like, failure is like part of science, and like, yeah, where she's like, yeah, failure is just part of it. It just means like we're one step closer, and it's like, it's another reason, like it's another thing that we learned, and all of that is like, I love this philosophy. Herda's just also so fun, and all her trailers were so good, and you can tell that Hoyo's just like, oh yeah,
Herda's our favorite.
We know what you guys want. And I loved going through and like combing through and finding all the references, and there were so many that I didn't know, and I was like, chat, I need you to tell me what I'm seeing here, because there's so much happening, but so much love went into them.
I'm trying to think of my second. Honestly, it might be Boot Hill. He is just like, it's so funny when he's like, what the fork? Like, I love his dialogue. It's just so funny to like watch. And like anytime Boot Hill gets on screen, I'm like locked in. Like when I explained earlier, when I was like a kid, I used to like have my eyes wide open watching Dragon Ball. Whenever Boot Hill's on screen, I'm like, neuron activated. Let me listen to what he has to say. The voice actor did such a good job with him. Like, it is crazy how good Boot Hill is when it comes to like, I don't, it just feels like he actually feels like a space cowboy, and I love the dialogue. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I said it on one of my streams about Boot Hill. I'm like, because I was just praising Andrew's performance. It's so good and so deep for what it is. Little fudging son of a nice lady is it's so good. It's so funny. But like, it would have been so easy to just make Boot Hill feel like a caricature, you know? Yeah. And not make him feel like a person. It's like, no, he's a goofy cowboy who just talks in like because his synesthesia beacon's all messed up because of the IPC. F the IPC. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, he talks funny and he's like space cowboy, whatever. It would have been so easy to just kind of make him a joke. But Andrew brings so much life to him. And like, you can feel that this is a man who has lived a life and is just doing his best and is kind of having fun along the way because of all the crap he's dealt with. And I love how he's written and performed. So if I could just list every character's like, here's why I love them. Yeah, Boot Hill is like Boot Hill's in my top 5 of characters though. He's so good.
You want to know, okay, this might sound a little weird, okay?
Go for it.
You want to know something that I found out from my chat regarding Boot Hill?
Yes, gimme.
Did you know he has this little plug above his butt?
I did.
Oh my God. When my chat first told me about that, I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean he has a plug above his butt? I just thought, I was like, oh, is this like where he gets like his charging? Like,
I assume
is this
so.
the charging port? I was just caught so off guard when I saw it for the first time. But I just wanted to mention that.
If you're not expecting it, you're like, hey, yo, wait a minute.
Think though, let me think, third character. Now that's where it's hard. Because like
right?
a lot of characters I feel like can be really good contenders for it. Because I love Bronya, I love Sylla. I love their interactions with one another. Like I just love every time seeing them on screen and just how they interact. Like I like March a lot too.
Me
He's
too.
just so energetic and like goofy. And I loved when they gave her new like outfit where she became like March 7th. I always call her Boba March though.
Boba. She is Boba March.
Yeah, she's so cute. Like, I honestly, oh my gosh, it's hard because I also really like Black Swan, partly for simping reasons, but she's really mysterious.
She's really pretty.
Yeah, you know what? It might have to be between March or Sylla, honestly. Like
That's
I just
fair.
love,
Both are so good.
I just love Zilla's personality, and like she gives me kind of like a rough type of vibe. Like she will beat you up type of deal.
Absolutely let like Sylla like punch me in the face. I'm like, no.
Oh my
No,
God.
if the thing is, if she punched me in the face, I'm like, nah, I would deserve it. Yeah. I did something wrong.
You know what? Fair. But I love her interactions with Bronya. Like for a very long time, my favorite two were Sylla and Bronya. And they still hold a special place in my heart. Yeah, Bellowbog was just so good. I love it.
I'm so happy when people say they like Bellowbog, because yes, it was long, but it really brings you in and it makes you care. Like, yeah. I cared so much about the whole situation, and I like care so deeply about all the characters from there. Like, I love Clara and Svarog and all that. So good. Anytime we get to go back, I can't wait to do the War Dance event with like Luca. I'm like, I haven't done it yet, and I'm like, I still need Luca. Luca, stay away today. I love you so much, buddy. Howard, you're like a brother to me. Stay away from my polls today. I love you so much. Stay away. Only Treebs, please. I'd like to spend less than $200 today, but we'll see.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was definitely a long one. It was very, very fun though. I had a great time talking to Sylla, so we'll definitely be doing more collabs in the future. And also the next video after this one should be our poll session, so do stay tuned for that. And I hope you all once again did enjoy, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.